So pumped to meet you. My wife and I, our kids, we have been watching. We watched this season. We are rooting for you the whole time, and I just want to know the fan. Now you've been out of it for a little bit, a heartbeat. Yeah. What's the reaction you're getting? Maybe something that's surprising you about the fan reaction.
You know, so I'm a big guy. I mean, I can't hide it. You know what I mean? And
people see you coming.
People pick me out of crowds, and so it's been a really cool experience just to get like all of people recognizing me and all the attention that comes with that, and it's been so cool to just get to meet all of these people who have voted all this time. You know, you think, well, you hear the thing of, there was 20 million votes sent in this week, or there was 15 million votes sent in, and that's a huge number, and so you just associate it with like a wave of people.
Sure.
But to get to shake the hands of each one of those people who were like, hey, every week I send in my 30 votes for you.
A real person who dialed in or went online.
A real person who committed every Sunday night to sending those votes in for me, and that means so much, you know?
That's really cool. Let's take one step forward, just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so then let's just go back to maybe a moment off camera. Show's over. Did any of the judges leave you with a word of advice or something that we didn't see or hear?
Well, you know, everyone always wants to know who was the coolest judge, who was this, who was that, and they're all so great in their own unique way. Yeah. You know, me and Luke have a fishing trip planned out that we haven't cashed in on yet, and Lionel, Lionel was super cool. It was, he made sure that I knew that if I ever needed anything, he was a phone call away. If there was any advice or anything in general, that he would be there. And Katie was the same way. Katie's leaving after this year, and she's going on tour. She's going to start playing more shows. And I said, Katie, I would love to come to one of your shows. Yeah. And she said, anytime you see that we're going to be close by, let us know. We'll get you in. And so, you know what I mean? Like, each one of them had their own thing, and they're so supportive in their own unique ways, and I'm excited to see kind of how we work with all three of them in the future. And
Luke Bryan bouncing around here at CMA Fest. I saw him last night at the Nissan Stadium. You got to cash in on that fishing trip. I wonder if have you run into him at all?
Not this week. Not this week. I haven't seen him yet. And Chase was talking about he had the key, so I may just hit up Chase and just go with him.
That's right. Work it out for sure. Who should fill that seat that Katy Perry is leaving?
I will never give an answer on that.
Yeah, it's a tough one to fill.
It's way above my pay grade.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure.
Is there, as you have kind of like started to interact with fans more, has there been any maybe like a celebrity fan or someone that you've been surprised that's sort of come through as like, hey, I was rooting for you, big fan, love what you're doing? Anything like that? Maybe not. I just wondered.
Well, like on the show when I first met Jelly Roll, when I told him who I was, he was like, oh man, I've heard your name. And that to me was huge. I was like, no, man, you don't have to lie to me. And he's like, no, I'm serious. Like, I've heard your name. And that was a super cool moment to just think that like someone as big as Jelly Roll had already, been introduced to what I had going on. That was so cool, man. And it was awesome just getting to talk to him and kind of hear his side of things.
What's the biggest thing that's changed when you go back home?
I think it's the people that I sat at the table next to them in restaurants my whole life eating, and now it's like they want a picture, an autograph, or they want to hear something about the show or what's going on or what's coming up in the future and all the things. And it's kind of cool. It's like it's the people I grew up around and spent my whole life with, and now they look at me as I'm something special, and it's cool, and it's a little bit weird at the same time. I'm like, look, I'm still Will. Like, I'm the same guy you've known this whole time. But
I feel like there's no doubt you have a place in country music. I mean, just as a fan watching you, it's like, oh, he fits. He's there. Is there development? Is there music on the way? Is there a record label in your ear? What's the deal?
We have a lot going on. There's a lot coming from every angle and every avenue, and right now we're just trying to filter everything and figure out what works and what don't work and what's a good fit and what's not a good fit. And I will say that there is some music on the way. I said as soon as the show was over, they asked what my plan was, and I told them to hit the ground running. 2 weeks later, we were in New York with Zach Brown Band opening up. Thank you so much, Zach. Man, I owe that guy a lot. He's super great. He's been really good to me. But he gave me that opportunity to hit the ground running, and that comes with music as well. And I want to keep releasing music and just keep the ball rolling.
How did that connection with Zach happen?
A friend of mine is on the staff with Zach, and so he just kind of showed him a song, and Zach liked the song, and so they reached out, and we just made it happen.
It's great to talk to you, man. Thank you so much. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.